is from a different direction. The great Winston Churchill said, "I never worry about action, only inaction." January 2nd, 2016, the Bundys and their followers took action. As a result, 22 days in, a member was gunned down and the rest brought into custody. October 6, 2011, more than 10,000 protesters of the Occupy Portland movement marched to a rally and later set up an encampment in the publicly owned plaza blocks for over a month. Unlike the Bundy group, these individuals were neither gunned down or taken into custody. In fact, within the public discourse, there was an inherent recognition of their right to do what they were doing. While leaders from the left remained silent on the Occupy movement, they called on feds to intervene and storm the Bundy encampment. November 8th, 2016, Election Day. Like so many of you, over a year and a half of logging on to social media accounts and the mainstream media just to find the left's incoherent rantings and ravings, calling people like you and me racists, bigots, homophobes, and sexists, and yelling down anyone with a dissenting opinion. I tuned in to watch the presidential election results. Something quite remarkable happened, didn't it? Those of us who believe in the fundamental, inarguable tenets that have made this country great, limited government, defined borders, a strong military defense, and an America First attitude, learned we were not alone. November 9th, 2016, thousands of election result rioters took to the streets, vandalizing property, physically threatening bystanders, and in some cases literally invoking harm to people that they deem to have a dissenting opinion. Again, contrast this to the Bundy group, who did not damage public property and were willing to let Wildlife Refuge staff return to work. February 1st, 2017, Governor Kate Brown rallies her supporters to form a Trump resistance team. My point is whether it's the Occupy movement, Portland's election result rioters, the creation of a Trump resistance team, or Governor Brown's reaction to it all, the left has declared war. They're taking action. And if you think the left is going to give you your country or your state back without a fight, you are sorely mistaken. That's right. So today, of course, we conservatives ask if the Bundys went too far. I'm curious, do you hear the left asking themselves if Occupy Portland, the election result rioters, or their disruptive interruption of democratically held town halls around this country is going too far? Do you think the left will refrain themselves to a press release or a press conference in an empty press room in the basement of the Oregon State Capitol? Today, I implore you, at your discussion topics today, let's not discuss if the Bundys went too far. Let's instead ask if we, as conservative activists, have gone far enough. When we, thank you. Thank you. Yes, that does not go against my time. When we live in a state that is wholly controlled by Democrats with a $1.8 billion spending deficit and a land of record revenue, have we gone far enough? When we live in a state that's ranked 43rd out of 50 for yours and my children's education, have we gone far enough? When we live in a state that has us sitting for hours on end on Highway 26 and the 84 Banfield, while driving over bridges far beyond their prime, all while being denied President Trump's infrastructure projects so that our governor can play national politics and protect illegal immigrants, have we gone far enough? And when you're a member of a political party in a state with such historic titans as McCall, Hatfield, Packwood, Atiyeh, Smith, and Walden, and yet we haven't held the governor's mansion in over 3 decades, you have to ask yourself, have we gone far enough? March 4th, 2017. Is this that day? You may not agree with what the Bundys did, but they stood for what they believe, and they took action. Do we remain in the quicksand of inaction, or do we stand together, Are we willing to take action? Are we going to take back this wonderful place we call Oregon? Thank you.